we picked up where you guys had made your way out of the Goblin Cave with your cart full of goods. You had sorted through them, gone through them, made sure nothing was inconspicuous, and made your way back to the city of Farhelm, where you successfully bribed your way through the gate into town with a cart full of goods recovered from the goblins, finding your way to the Crafty Dragon, where Destrian was nowhere to be found. Three of you stayed behind guarding the cart, while the other two followed a lead to the local tavern, where you learned that Destrian was taken by the local guard for the night, and the two that were at the tavern had made their way back to the others, informed them, and then took off for the local council chambers, where you met a guard captain by the name of Cassius and found that Destrian was there, being held not against his will, really. Cassius seemed to be quite friendly with him. And after everything was said and done, Cassius had offered you guys a job for 1,000 gold, that you would come back and talk to him later after you finished everything with Destrian. And you guys went back with Destrian to the Crafty Dragon, settled things up, unloaded the cart, got your wolf's bane, and Cinder also got a little smack on the wrist when he was trying stupid things. And after that, you guys met up with old Clap there and returned his wolfsbane to him. Well, gave him the wolfsbane that he requested, I should say. And your quest was pretty much complete at that point. Clap had a counterfeit that he had made and gave you the real necklace, which you returned to Adela. Upon returning to Adela's house, you had found that it had been ransacked somewhat by a local Inquisitor of the New Dawn that you guys had briefly met before, without knowing it. And Adela requested a little time alone. So you guys thought now may be the proper time to use some of your new coin and things and make your way to the local tavern, where you guys had spent a good portion of the night getting settled in, meeting the barkeep, and eventually getting a round of drinks for everyone at the table. And that's where we left off. You guys were inside the tavern having a pretty good time with a fresh round of ale for everyone at the table. And that's where we'll start tonight.
So, if we are going to do this job together, might want to know a little bit more about one another. Teak, how long you been here in this city?
Teak, not good at keeping track of time. Couple moons. Teak been here quite some time. Maybe 5 moons. Teak doesn't really know. Teak just does what Teak does.
5 moons ain't a lot of time at all.
Moon cycles, when moon do complete change. 5 of those. All moon cycles, you know. Teak been here a while, but Teak not too great at keeping track of time. Teak's always kind of just lived.
What's a moon cycle?
When moon changes, so when moon do full change, that kind of how Teak keep track of things. So yeah.
Is that 5 years?
Teak is gonna kind of just like tap the table. Teak, not quite sure how.
Moon cycle is around 30 days.
So 5 months.
Teak's just gonna shrug. If that what Philia say?
That what Philia googled.
You seem pretty smart, Philia. There are a lot of schools where you come from.
Yes, we have a government-sponsored education system.
What?
A government-sponsored education system. It was one of the many legislatures that I was able to propose to the parliament.
Let's look around the table to see if anyone understands.
She asked the government to pay for the schools. And they agreed.
I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about over there. Governments and legislation.
I think what she done is she asked the people in charge to build more schools and they said yes. You have a lot of political power.
She's a princess. I imagine so.
You princess?
Yes, of the Malfiora Kingdom.
What? Teak doesn't. What's that?
She's in charge of things.
Not what's a princess, what's the Malfiora Kingdom? Where is it?
It's within the Feywild.
Where's that?
It's another parallel dimension to this one.
Right, I think you were saying that. Why are you here then?
It's a long story. I need to find my way back.
Didn't you say you were banished by the evil Mushroom Queen?
She, from another kingdom that we will not speak of, intruded upon my kingdom and banished me during a diplomatic meeting.
I'm sure your subjects are looking for ways to bring you back as we speak.
I do hope so. An ecosystem cannot survive with only fungi.
So, is there a way we can help with that? Or is this something like what you was talking about before, for that interplane stuff?
It should be very easy. Once we find a ritual ground, I can use some of the honey, just draw a ritual circle, put some dirt, put some leaves, and then a portal should open and I can find my way back.
All we need is honey.
Haven't you learned yet? Honey can do amazing things. Honey can do basically anything.
Why haven't we tried this yet?
We haven't found a ritual ground, I think.
I thought you just said, Philia, you can make your own with honey.
Well, not entirely. Some old people need to do their things and then, like, create the grounds for the honey to work, and then I didn't take Intro to Magics 101, so I don't really understand how the ritual ground works, but it works.
We'll just have to find an old man who does. Or an old woman.
What's being old got to do with it?
Aren't they supposed to be smarter? She just said old people, didn't?
Well, I guess. I don't know if I'd know about it. I was an old person.
Eric's just gonna laugh.
So, are you alright sticking with us then, Philia, until we get some word on these ritual grounds?
Perfectly happy to.
Is this the
And
first
you,
time
Teak?
you've been to this place? Have you ever been here before?
Not really, but I have read up on the material plane, is this correct?
I think so.
Yes, I have. I haven't been here. The Feywild doesn't really do trade with the material plane as much, but I do have some knowledge. Yes, we do read about this plane of existence.
Huh. Fascinating.
Alright. I think Cinder and I are both interested in the job. Philia, if you're willing to tag along, that'd be great. What about you two? Eric, Teak, this interests you as well?
I mean, depending on what it is, maybe.
It's money. What's not to be interested? Gold.
Well, if we're gonna be doing the wrong thing, I'm not interested.
Teak will stick around. Destrian has nothing for Teak to do right now, so Teak can stick around and then go back to Destrian in a few days when Destrian said.
So what comes as the wrong thing then? In your eyes, Eric?
I guess it depends how I feel about something.
Depends how you feel about something.
I mean, a lot of the people think the church in this city is great, but something's off about them. You know?
Right. Don't know if even 1,000 gold will be enough for me to get on their bad side.
Ah, I see what you mean. And where exactly are you from, Eric?
Oh, just a town somewhere up north.
Like in Drakenmore?
Not exactly in Drakenmore.
More north than that?
Kind of.
Is it something you really need to keep a secret? You're in some trouble or something?
It's nothing like that. It's just slightly embarrassing, that's all.
You mentioned before that it wasn't the first time you'd been in a prison or something, in a cell. You don't strike me as the kind of person that would often go to one, so what happened?
See, that's the embarrassing part. I had some trouble with some women. I don't really know how to explain.
What? Like a real bad breakup?
Something like that. Like a really, really bad break.
And that's why you're here.
That's why I'm anywhere but there.
Right then. Don't mean to pry. What's your business is yours.
It's not that. It's just. embarrassing.
How's everybody doing on their ale?
Sipping.
Well, Tika previously.
And dunked it all on herself, pretty much.
Yeah, so she's done, and she's just been listening in while maybe carving into the table just slightly with her claws.
What are you carving in the table?
Probably not much, like a really crude drawing of a tree.
Wonderful.
Cinder's just about finished.
Wow. Are you going to get another one, Cinder?
Well, let's have a little toast then, shall we?
Alright, to what?
Well, I'm not sure exactly. Let's just toast anyway. To the job.
But we don't even know if we're taking it.
Ah. It's all about the possibility, if you know what I mean. We don't have to take it, but it's the possibility of being so
Adventure?
far up in the world that we're offered such coin.
To possibilities then.
To possibilities.
Eric's gonna look confused and then like raise his glass as well. To possibilities.
Using one claw is going to kind of like take the handle and slowly lift her cup up.
Delia will join in as well.
Wonderful.
Right,
You guys
then.
have a big old cheers.
Another round then. And I get up. I head over
Alright.
to the bar.
Yeah, Erder's still there, you know, doing what he normally does.
Delia will follow and like ask for like wine, the finest wine.
Oh, you're trying to get wine out of Erder, huh? Okay, so you guys approach the bar, and after, a few seconds of him helping other people, he turns back. Ah! Laddie, you're back. What can I do for you?
Four of the ale that we had last time, if you don't mind.
And,
Sure, right away.
and I'll take a wine, please.
Ah, a wine, eh, miss? Anything in particular, or just any wine?
What's your selection?
Well, I got wine, and I got good wine.
I'll take a glass of the good wine. Thank you very much. How much will that be?
About 1 gold piece for
Sounds
a good
good.
glass of wine. All right. Just give me 2 moments. And he reaches under the counter. You can see he gets down off his stool and comes back up with. He sets one nice kind of metal enameled glass with wine inside of it. It's nice red fruity color, and then 4 more wooden mugs of ale on the table. It's all right. For the lot, 16 copper pieces and 1 gold piece.
Alice will just give 2 gold pieces and say thank you.
Oh my goodness! Well, may
Oh.
the praise of the All-Father be to you. That's mighty kind.
Well, hold on there. If that's how it's going to be, maybe throw in another one of those shots of your liquor there on top then.
Sure,
Just a single.
I can throw that in for you. And he reaches under, bottle, quickly pours something out into a small little metal glass and puts it on the table for you.
Care to try, Philia?
Oh no, I'm fine, thank you.
Suit yourself. And then down it. And then grab the other 4 mugs.
Ophelia will grab her wine and sit toward the table.
All right, now you guys get your drinks and make your way back towards the table. Cinder, you have 4 ales. Who are you handing them out to?
To Teak, Eric, Gustav, and myself.
Okay. You just weren't getting one for Philia because she didn't like the ale.
Right.
Alright, so yeah, Cinder comes back to the table with 4 new mugs of ale for the lot of you, and Philia has her nice little metal enameled cup full of wine.
This one here is on Philia. Thank you.
It's nothing, as Ophelia will wave her hand.
I think that deserves another toast. I think to friendship, new beginnings, all that stuff.
Alright
Eric's
then.
gonna have anime twinkly eyes. To French.
Jesus.
New beginnings.
New beginning.
Teak, friends. And Teak will also lift her cup or mug.
How do you... Your mug has actual ale in it this time.
So she's going to... It's going to be the whole, very awkward, trying to keep claws away from the mug. 2 hands pressed to the side of the mug. And she lifts rather enthusiastically, so some kind of spills onto her arms. But not all.
All right.
Ophelia will join, and then, after the cheer's over, she'll, say, it's customary, really.
It's what now?
It's customary. Don't worry about it.
What's customary?
The drinks and all, so don't worry about it.
Oh.
Well, thanks for...
Hi, thank you.
All right. Do you guys all down your drinks, or are you gonna sip on them, or what?
Teak does something similar to the first time, only she's learned a little bit, so not nearly as much spills out, but it's still probably not the most coordinated or nice sight to look at all.
All right. So you're
Idiot.
downing another one, but spilling a quarter of it this time instead of half.
Yeah, just instead of flowing down my chin, now I guess they kind of maybe flow out the sides of my mouth, because I get most of it in the mouth, right? T gets most of
Right.
it, but it kind of overflows and runs down the sides of the mouth. That's it.
All right. Is everyone else downing their ales or sipping them?
Yeah, sipping.
I'm
With
gonna
space.
chug it, but I'm not gonna nurse it either.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I might. Yes, Cinder.
Cinder will be following Gustav's pace.
All right.
Or
so you guys are.
whoever looks like they're going the fastest.
I mean, Teak looks like she's going the fastest, but
Then it'll be
she's
Teak.
not doing a great job at keeping it all in her mouth. So, if you two are trying to match pace, I'll have you both roll me a fortitude check. It might be slightly less difficult for Teak, only because not all of it's making it into her mouth. Fortitude save, I should say. Oh, Gustav wants to get on in this action? Is that what's happening?
Oh, I thought I was supposed to. Never mind.
Wait, so does Teak also need to roll?
Yeah, roll me a fortitude save. Yes. Yeah. Teak, you're probably not very used to consuming ale like this, so you're just kind of just chugging this as much as you can, not really knowing the effects that it has in store for you. You are definitely starting to feel a little tipsy, and Cinder, you're like watching Teak feeling like you're being outdone, I guess. You're like trying to keep up with her, but even though you're a more experienced drinker, you actually know how to drink, so like just you're drinking a lot. I mean, that's 2 whole ales in like 10 or 15 minutes or something like that. So it's
Shots.
Starting to plus the shots. Yeah, no, that's right. You have shots too. Jesus, it's starting to hit you as well. You're both feeling a bit tipsy.
Eric's just gonna slowly become a sad drunk.
That's good. Why are you so sad, Eric?
Because Gustav's making him think about weird shit.
So you've retreated into your own headspace a bit, nursing on your ale.
Yeah.
And then you have Cinder and Teak getting boozed up. I mean, Cinder, you've just watched Teak down this ale, and you did too. Are you gonna try and get another round, or for the 2 of you? You gonna slow your roll?
He'll Cinder will stand up and he'll lean over to Teak and say, "All right, now you get another round, and when we do that, try to not spill as much. Concentrate on the mug and the liquid inside going into your mouth. Right? Okay, I'll be back."
Eric's gonna look over at Cinder as he's leaving and be like, "Get me a few as well, please."
One for Eric too. I guess. Anyone else? Gustav? Philia?
Philia will say, like, no, I'm fine, as she's just gonna swirl her wine and take more sips.
Alright, let's not go too hard tonight, Cinder. About to start an important job tomorrow, yeah?
Right. Of course, it's important. It's important and all of that. But right now, here is important. Because here is in the now.
Alright,
Plus,
one more.
We're on a lesson here. We're teaching Teak how to be a bit more civil. This could go a long way, if you know what I mean. You never know when we're up with royalty. What if we get to a place where we have to meet Philia's family and stuff, and they're all like royals, and Teak doesn't know how to put a glass in her mouth.
Meanwhile, the table's made out of wood, right? That's what I've been assuming.
Yes.
So Teak at this point is going to have planted her face into the table and like sniffing the wood. And she's like rubbing her hands over it. Teak loves trees.
You see what we're dealing with here? We gotta civilize this beast. No
I
offense,
don't
Teak.
know if
No offense.
more ale's gonna help with that.
Let the lesson continue.
I don't know, Cinder. You alright, Teak?
Teak feels great. Teak loves ale. And Teak is just going to... Teak is like, at this point, she's rolling her head side to side and she's like very audibly like sniffing the table.
Ale
She didn't even lift.
Teak's wood fetish.
Like she didn't even lift her. She didn't even lift her head to address you. Just said it. She like rolled her head on the table.
I head to the bar.
All
can't
right.
imagine how disturbed
You make your way.
Gideon's
You make your way back to the bar, and it hasn't even been that long since Erder got back there, and he eyeballs you, sees you coming up, and he's like, "By the Allfather, you're done already?"
Lord Erder. And I kind of do like a little bow thing.
Please, you embarrass me. I'm no lord.
That ale is quite exquisite, if I must say so myself.
Oh, why, thank ye.
So exquisite, we would require 4 more.
Or more, eh? All right. Just give me one moment, please. You see him, go back under the counter again, and he looks chipper. He looks excited. He loves nothing more than when people like his ale. He comes back out, sets them down on the counter, 2 in each hand. All right. 4 more ale. There'll be another 16 copper pieces.
I guess just I hand him like a gold piece because I don't have the 16 copper change.
Oh, my goodness. That's quite kind of you.
Well, it's quite kind of you to be blessing us with this fine ale. Do you make this yourself there?
That I do. I'm glad you noticed.
Quite exquisite. And I kind of
Thank ye.
try to pick up all 4 at once and make my way back to the table.
Do you need a hand there, lad?
Ooh. Yeah, maybe on this one.
Peter, why don't you make your way back to the table, and I'll bring these with you. And he kind of hops off his stool and jumps around the other side of the counter and grabs the mugs and starts escorting you to the table. And as you're going, he's like, I've been working on this recipe for nearly 100 years. Gives you a good time to work out what's good and what's not.
Nearly 100 years? How long?
That's right, lad.
How the bloody hell old are you?
Well, it's never too polite to ask a dwarf his age. But if you must know, 369 years. And, with the Allfather's blessing, I think I've come up with quite a recipe here. So,
What do
you and your friends do enjoy.
What? Okay, now. What do you call this? I must know.
Well, I know it's a little silly, but named it after myself, of course. A large gut brew.
I'm sorry?
Large gut brew, Sonny.
Ours gut brew.
Large gut.
Large gut.
Aye, like mine. He pokes his kind of little belly, or slaps it a little bit.
Right then. Well,
Yeah, by this time, you're probably back at the table.
yeah.
He sets the drinks down and just kind of stares at you for a moment.
Well, thank you, Erder.
Why, of course. Anything else I can get for you?
Not at this time, Erder.
Well, great. Just let me know if you need anything. And may the Allfather bless you.
And you. And the ale.
Thank you. Thank you very much. He kind of jaunts on off back towards the bar.
So, as I kind of place the beers in front of everyone, I have been fortunate enough to have discovered that the ale that we have been so kind to have had and drunk this evening was made by the old large gut over there, Erder. Names it after himself. Large gut brew, in his words.
How about that? Ain't half bad.
Ain't half bad indeed. Now, Teak.
Yes. Teak here. She kind of lifts her head from the table that she has still been actively sniffing.
Why don't we try doing this with one hand?
Teak Teak looks intrigued slightly, but she's also a little loopy.
Now,
so she just kind of nods.
Now, watch closely, Teak. Those claws there may pose a bit of an obstacle, but we can overcome it by turning the mug to the opposite way, so that when you grab the mug, your hand goes around the mug, but your claws go through the handle like this, and I kind of demonstrate. So essentially, it's like grabbing the mug,
Teak reaches for
backhanded style.
Yeah, right.
So Teak reaches for the mug, and you can see she's very she's trying to, she's definitely trying to imitate what Cinder's doing, but she's a little messy. So you can see she's kind of shaking the glass. The ale's kind of spilling out a little bit, but finally she manages to wrap her hand around it, and then the claws, which.
Now, gently lift the glass, or the mug rather, gently, and then I kind of do this with Teak, and then press it ever so softly against your bottom lip, and then tilt.
So Teak follows these instructions. Only as it reaches her bottom lip, she just can't help it, and she immediately chugs the entire. Instead of doing neat gulps, she does what she's been doing, and she just tries to drink it all in one go.
All right, make me a general dexterity check. Let's see how well you do on your following of instructions. And hey, not bad. Oh, look at that. +2 for minor air form. Too bad you're not boozing it up in minor air form.
I'm not in my air form.
So, with that roll in Cinder's guidance, yeah, this time, you're trying it this new way, but it's your third drink and you've gotten a pretty good handle on it. And you get almost all of it down, there's some little little spillage on out the side of your mouth, but nowhere near as bad as last time. Pretty normal.
Yeah, and then she's gonna instead of setting them down, she just she just releases her hand and drops it, and then she burps.
Gustav and Eric, you guys are still on your last ale, but you have 2 new ales in front of you. Are you guys trying to catch up at all, or are you just gonna keep drinking the way that you have been?
I think when he realizes that everyone's basically, he's gonna be like, "Come on, Gustav, we better hurry up and go take rest for tomorrow." And then he's gonna start trying to down his drink.
All right, Gustav, what do you think? Are you gonna try and drink with Eric?
All right then.
All right, I want everybody except for Philia to make me a fortitude saving throw.
How good is this one?
It's pretty good, honestly. I mean, like, it's pretty good wine in terms of what.
Can we not roll
Depends on what
above a
you have.
19?
Oh my god! You what the fuck? So like, Eric, you start getting tipsy. Cinder and Teak, you guys are even more drunk now. And Gustav, like, you're getting a little bit of a buzz, but you're probably the most sober out of the rest of them. Unless Philia starts really nursing that, or starts drinking down that good tasting wine.
Not Philia sophisticated.
Alright. So yeah, you and Philia are probably the most sober, Gustav. You know, you got a little bit of a buzz, but you're holding your own. Everyone else, like Teak and Cinder, they're on their way in a downward spiral.
I start with Teak. What exactly are we trying to smell here? I'm like down face on the table trying to smell the wood.
Teak is just gonna. She's like rubbing her nose at this point, considering she's dropped her, like, assuming she's realized this and she's also dropped her head back down. She's like rubbing her nose like up and down the grain. You can smell the forest, leaves, dirt, teak in the trees. And she's like hiccuping. Like, it's not that. It doesn't come out that, like, doesn't come out that smooth.
Do I smell
Cinder,
any of that, or do I smell just like?
What you're
bar
smelling
of
is
alcohol?
her hiccuping, burpish booze smells. It's like the ever faintest smell of maybe some like wood, but it's almost drowned out completely by these burps and hiccups coming from Teak.
Quite pleasant.
Alright, I think that's enough.
Eric was just getting started.
Eric's just gonna be like, we've
Wants
already
to
had
go
so
to
much,
the
we might as well
trees.
just drink more.
We ain't getting more ale, Eric.
For what?
Because look at them. They're rubbing their faces all over the table.
Eric's just gonna sniff the
Eric,
table,
you
like, I don't get it.
You still have one good ale left in front of you. Cinder brought 4 more and you were drinking your other one.
I'm gonna drink my other ale.
Alright. You grab it and down it. Roll me another fortitude save.
Oh, come on.
We're due for a good roll. You should be
Oh,
okay.
No!
Get it all out now, guys. Get it all out now.
You down this other ale, Eric, and like, you're not a very big guy or anything, and the effects are starting to catch up with you. And you're seeing Cinder and Teak like down in this wood, and you're really just curious at this point. Like, what is going on with this wood table?
He's just gonna start, like, he's gonna, like, put his glass down, like, I wanna know what's so good about this table, and then start sniffing.
Bloody hell.
You smell some very faint wood smell, but mostly it's just like a dirty ale-stained table.
He's just gonna, like, start crying. Like, I don't get it.
Ophelia, you think you
Yes.
can help me get these 3 up to the rooms?
Sounds good.
Let's start
And-
with Teak. I think she's the worst.
Teak is kind of singing. She's saying, Teak wants to be in the trees. Like that.
Right. We'll
Amelia's
take
gonna
you to the
start
trees.
harmonizing.
Thanks for the assist, Eric.
Eric's joining in.
Eric's just still crying at the table. Like, Gustav, you're such a good person.
Wonderful.
We're gonna try to guide Teak to room.
Okay. Are you guys like gonna pick Teak up, or are you just trying to like walk her to the room, or what?
I don't think I have the strength to pick Teak up, so we're just walking her to the room.
Teak is going to resist and grip onto the table. That is just.
All right. Wonderful.
Now, come on, Teak.
I believe if you want to grapple Teak and drag her upstairs, it's a
Strength check.
it's a combat
CMB.
maneuver
Oh.
combat maneuver bonus roll versus her CMD. So if you click on your CMB button, it's like under your saves on your character sheet.
I can't click it though.
Oh, it's right under Will. CMB.
You can't click it?
Click mine.
Oh, I was looking at CMD.
Yeah, CMD's.
Oh god.
So yeah, I'm pretty
No.
sure that Teek's is higher. What's your CMD, Teek?
17.
All right, yeah. So
Philia,
she's got her claws like just jammed into this table, and she is not budging.
I was about to say Philia shows her wings, but then I was just like, nope, I'm not losing my wings.
Right, I guess we'll start with the other two. Hope she's tuck it out by the time we get back, huh?
Philia's gonna like put her hand, like hover her arm around Teak because Teak is kind of dirty, and she's just gonna like sing a lullaby to Teak and be like, "Come on, it's time to go to bed."
All right.
Do I need to make a throw against that?
Yes.
As I look at her, I'm gonna look at
Jesus.
her. Teak, it's time to go to bed. Come on.
So you make a will save with a -4 penalty, I believe, from both of those,
Okay.
or wait, no, with only -2 because of the stare. I think the other one has to succeed. Yeah. So you roll a will save -2.
Well.
Okay.
Teak passes out.
Yeah, you don't pass out completely, but you're feeling like more tired from this.
Come
For
on,
sure.
Teak. Don't you want to go to sleep? The table's gonna be there in the morning. Don't you want to meet the table in the morning? You can meet the table again in the morning.
Teak wants trees, and then she's just. You can see she's like losing, like her grip is sort of loosening up on the table,
Gonna
and
try
she's
to
kind of
catch her.
relaxing.
All right. Yeah, she kind of relaxes and you catch her, Gustav.
Yeah.
And how are you guys gonna do this? Are you gonna just take Teak up there first and leave Eric and Cinder unattended, or what?
Yeah. This is a multi-stage
Oh,
thing.
damn,
Unless,
this is a bold choice. All right.
I'm gonna
Can I
stay.
carry Teak by myself?
I believe so. Isn't what's your like carry thing? You're pretty strong.
Lift over heads 230. Heavy
count-
loads the same.
Teak, how much do you weigh overall with your gear?
Well, I just wait. Honey, let me. Oh well, I'd still be under 200. So yes.
Okay. Yeah, then you could lift her up over
Okay.
over your head and carry her over your shoulder upstairs.
Yeah, I'll try to do just like a piggyback style, but if that's not working, I guess fireman.
Yeah, the piggyback style will work probably. She might be digging into you with her claws a little bit, piggyback style, but
I'll trust the armor to protect me.
yeah, there'll be some scratch marks on your armor probably. All right, so you
Honestly, the more concerning thing is the disease.
All right, so you piggyback Teak upstairs. Cinder and Eric, you're left alone with Philia. What are you guys doing? You see that they're trying to end your partying.
She's gonna look over at Philia and be, I think I need to see a mailman.
Philia's gonna look at Eric. It's time to go to bed. Come on.
He's gonna get up and be like, I think I need to go find a mailman.
Eric, remember the wolfsbane? Remember how you wanted the wolfsbane?
I think I need a mailman more.
I can guarantee.
You mean like the postman?
Yeah, do you know where there's a mailman?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna go find a mailman. Then he's gonna start walking around the bar.
We're gonna
Alright.
do the same old thing with Eric.
All right, Eric, make me a will save.
Shit, where's the...
With a -2.
Finally, I finally roll one.
Yeah, you succeed pretty easily, so you're not affected by Philia's lullaby or anything. You're feeling pretty, pretty adamant about finding this mailman.
Yep, Eric's just gonna walk off.
Are you walking out of the bar or like
Yeah, and you
Okay.
can just hear him saying, wow, I could really use a mailman. To like random people.
Okay, yeah, Eric's like essentially like staggering out towards the entrance of the bar and is like on the
Philia,
way.
understanding that her spell slots are gonna be refreshed by morning,
That's
is going.
That's a area spell, right?
Yeah, I think so, technically.
Should I be
I'm
rolling
just
for that?
whispering it. I'm just whispering the spell into there.
Yeah, I think she's trying to just use it
Okay.
specifically, so... Alright, so you're doing forbid action now, huh?
On Eric.
Jesus. Okay. Eric, you'll need to roll another will save.
Come on, roll high. Yeah!
Eric is too determined.
This makes so
He's
much
like-
sense as well to me.
How does how does this go down, Philia? Like, how do you cast your forbid action on Eric? Like, you just walk up to him and like whisper something to him, or like what happens?
Philia's gonna go up to Eric, pull on like the bottom back of his shirt, and say, "I think it's time to stop."
Okay, yeah. And Eric pretty much just keeps trucking. I really need a mailman. He probably turns to you and says that, and then just turns around and keeps walking.
Don't you understand, Philia? I really need a mailman. And he's gonna stop crying and leave.
At this point, Philia, you can see like some of the people in the bar are looking at you as this grown adult man starts crying as he's exiting the bar, saying he really needs a mailman. You're drawing some slight attention.
I'm gonna head over to Erda.
Alright, you drunkenly stumble over to Erder.
Poor Ed.
Erda. We're going to go looking for a mailman. If our friends come down, let them know.
Aye, of course. It's
What?
not a bit late to be looking for a mailman.
Where should we start, Erder?
Well, there's a few places around town that collect the post, but, the main office is run out of the, military district, not far from the courthouse. I think they may be closed at this time, though.
Right. Okay. And I kind of give him a little nod, try to stand up straight, and then head towards the door.
Alright. Well, good luck, son. May the All-Father be with you.
And you, Lord Master Erder.
Yeah, he gives you a nod as you make your way towards the door.
Philia's gonna also grab onto the back of the shirt. Where do you think you're going?
To Cinder now?
Yes!
Alright, so you're gonna cast Forbid Action on him too?
I can't! I only have one spell slot!
Oh, so you can't. Great. So, Cinder, you just have Philia pull on the back of your shirt saying, where do you think you're going?
Oh. So I my legs kind of continue, but my top half falls back. And then I say to Philia, well, Erda just said that the post is in the military district up there. So
You can meet the postman inside your dreams when you go to bed. Now let's go to bed. As Philia's gonna tug on the back of her shirt again.
but Eric's out there. Don't we want to
I can go. I'll get Eric. You stay here. Is that understood?
You're a big, tough man. Don't take answers from a woman.
Oh my god.
I shall head quietly to bed.
Thank you. As that happens, Philia's gonna go outdoors, look both ways, make sure no one can see her. In the immediate proximity. Take out her wings and find Eric!
You may have to roll me a stealth check. If you're trying to hide around the tavern.
Do I see him, or is Eric too far gone?
Roll me a perception check. Yeah, I mean, he's far away, but he's headed down the street. You see him.
I'm gonna run toward Eric.
Alright, you start running towards Eric. Cinder, you're going up to your bedroom?
Yeah, stealthily.
Oh, okay. So roll me a stealth check for your stealthy approach to your room.
Where's my stealth? I have it down here somewhere.
Eric making me waste a 20.
And I'm not heading to my room. I'm heading to Teek's room.
Okay, so you're drunk, but you almost somehow regain some of your physical composure and start kind of sneaking your way up the stairs into this kind of dark candle-lit hallway. And as you do, you can see that Gustav is coming out of a room by himself. Gustav, you pretty much just... I mean, you just went in this room and set Teak down, right?
Yeah, like, made sure she wasn't gonna, like, choke on her throw up or anything.
Alright, yeah, so you get her you get her situated in the bed and...
Okay, but as soon as you put her in bed, she would have rolled onto the floor and started, like, just smelling the floor. And that would have been what Teak does.
Great! So you're putting Teak in this bed and she rolls out onto the floor.
She on her stomach, at least?
Yeah,
Probably,
don't worry. She's on her
sniffing.
stomach because she's smelling the floor, yeah.
I'm just gonna put a blanket on her.
Alright, so you put a blanket on Teak, who's on the floor sniffing it. Cinder, you see Gustav leaving this room. And he can't... I mean, you're probably good. You have time to react. What do you want to do?
I want to sneak up behind Gustav and then like kind of come up at him from behind and like put my hand around his mouth and like one hand around like to like kind of grapple him and just quickly say, "I got you now."
Oh, Jesus. Alright, Gustav, you gotta roll me a perception check. The perception check of your life.
Great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Even with Cinder's penalty for being a drunkard, he comes up behind you, Gustav. Like, he's like dodging and weaving, rolling through the shadows and the pockets between the candles and stuff like that. And he comes up behind you and puts his hand around your mouth, and he's got you.
I am wearing my helmet.
Yeah, I mean, not like over your mouth. I guess not over your mouth, but like where your mouth would be on your helmet. Yeah.
Okay. But I
Cinder?
hear Cinder say something.
I don't know. What does Cinder do?
I got you
You've
now.
got him, Cinder.
If I recognize it to be Cinder, I'm just gonna try to turn around and sort of push him off.
I mean, yeah, I feel like you could probably recognize that it's Cinder. Like, when he whispers it, even through your helmet, you can feel on the back of your neck, like, this warm breath, and the deep smell of ale coming off of it in a familiar voice.
What the hell are you on about now?
Ah, you didn't see me.
Well, no, but I see you now. Come on. Go into bed. I'm gonna try to drag him to the other room.
Eric went looking for the mailman.
What? Mailman? At night?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna like start kicking off my boots.
Are we in the room yet?
I don't know, are you?
Oh, I thought we were in the room.
Okay.
I guess so, yeah. I guess you were talking as you walked into the room. I didn't know if Cinder was trying to kick off his boots in the hall or not. But I guess it's in the room.
Yeah, and
Make
I'll
sure
just like
Cinder's all set up.
I'll just like fall onto the bed.
Right. You sit tight. We'll be back soon.
As you're leaving the room, you hear Cinder throw up, and it sounds like he's choking on his own vomit.
Go back inside.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So those
He
two are set
immediately
up.
died.
Lock the rooms. And I'm gonna go downstairs and try to find Philly and Eric.
As
Okay.
you leave, you can hear Teak singing to the floor.
Yeah, it's a bit quieter upstairs. And Teak is really going at it. It is a masterful performance of just song and tribute to this wood floor.
I pause for a moment, mesmerized by the beauty for one moment.
Yeah, It's like one of those like sea shanty songs, but about the wooden floor. It's like all melody and perfect. It's great.
I feel so bad for you guys. Okay, sorry, I'm crying.
Shake out of it. Go back downstairs.
All right, Philia, you're chasing down Eric in the street, who's just fucking stammering along.
Do I notice that Philia's chasing?
I don't know, Philly. Are you trying to be sneaky, catching up to Eric, or are you just running up to
Why
him?
not? Nope, I'm not.
All right.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with that roll. I guess you can roll me a perception check, Eric.
It's
Yeah,
hard
I'll
to
roll.
run and be sneaky, okay?
It's true.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Eric, you're drunk, but even you can notice the sounds of someone kind of like... Are you running up to him, or just like trying to trail behind him and like follow him? Philly,
Running to him.
Okay, yeah, you notice like before this figure gets to you that through the shadows of the night there's some hooded figure running towards you.
When I think that I'm being chased, I'm gonna start running.
Okay, I mean you do notice that it's
Question.
a tiny little figure. It's like the size of a child or a toddler.
Question, how busy are these streets?
They're not like super busy, but there are definitely people out on the streets. It's not like a New York City street or anything during the day, but it's pretty busy for, it's the ripe time in the evening for shenanigans on the street. So a decent amount of people. What are you gonna do, Philia? Eric starts stumbling, running through the streets.
Philia's gonna continue running. And just put those two things there in case needed.
All right. So you're staring at Eric as you run.
I like the music.
Yeah, the music
Are
just
there
kicked up at the
people
right time.
40 feet in front of Eric?
40 feet in front of him?
Yes.
I mean, he's constantly running, so probably, yeah, somewhere around there.
How far away is he?
You're running towards him. I'm probably like 60 feet or something like that in front of you. He heard you, saw you, started running.
I don't know what to do.
As Eric's running, he's also calling out for a mail.
Okay, great. Good to know. He's running through the streets, being
Anybody see
chased
the
by
mailman?
someone he believes yelling. He's yelling, "Is there a mailman?" Is that what you're yelling?
Yeah. If he sees
Great.
someone looking at him, be like, "Have you seen a mailman?" And if they like look away, he'll just like go on to the next person
Yeah, I
staring at
mean,
him.
but you're running through the streets, so you're like running by these people as you're being chased by this figure, and they're just like looking at you horribly confused.
Philia's gonna run after him and occasionally just be like, so sorry about that, so sorry about that, so sorry about that.
They're still just looking confused and bewildered. Occasionally there's some people that are just like, must be from the pub.
Philia's gonna yell and be like, stop this right now and go to bed.
Eric?
Eric's just gonna like, if he hears it, he's like, "Philia, why do you hate me? I just want a mailman."
Philia hasn't used her gallon of honey yet today, right?
Your half gallon? I don't think so.
A half gallon? Okay. Philia's gonna go into an alleyway where there's not that many people.
Sorry.
Fly upwards until she until she's high enough so people will be like, oh, that's just a bird, like a really big bird from far away.
Okay.
And we're just gonna drop honey in front of Eric's path.
Alright. So this is what happens. You go into this alleyway, you kind of take off part of your disguise and unfurl your wings. And you just start flying straight up into the air. And Gustav, you come down to the first floor of the tavern and you don't see Philia or Eric or anyone.
Is Erder still working?
Erder is still working.
I'll go over to him.
Hello there, lad.
Hi, Erder. Have you seen my two other friends? The little one and the dark-haired one.
Well, last time I saw them, they were headed out the door. And then Cinder came up to me asking about a post office or a mailman or something of that sort, and then he seemingly went up to bed.
Right. If they were looking for a mailman, where would you tell them to look?
Well, I told your pal Cinder there that they should look in the military district, but chances are the post office is closed at this hour. Fortunately, I didn't tell anything to your friend Eric or the other one. Forget her name.
Philia.
Yeah, Philia. They just kind of took off. Don't know where they went.
Right. I'll take a look, ask around. Thanks.
Sure thing. Maybe I'll either guide you.
Thanks. I'll give him a nod and go out the door. And if I can't see them, I'll just start asking around. Have you seen this man? Have you seen this woman?
Roll me a perception check when you walk outside. You don't really see much. Off in the distance, looks like there's a big old bird in the sky. Nothing too unusual.
Yeah, so I'll if I don't see either of them, I'll just go in a direction, but try to keep my head as to where the bar is so I can get back. And then if I see anyone, say, have you seen this guy? And just describe Eric and Philia.
All right. Yeah, I think after you ask a couple people, you're find someone on the street. It's oh, that freak, the freak that was running through the streets asking for a mailman.
Yeah, him.
He went that way.
Was there anyone with him? A smaller person?
Oh, yeah. Hard to say when I saw him, but it did look like there was someone chasing after him.
Was he running?
Yeah, he did start running. At first he was walking, and then he heard someone or something. He looked like he got startled. Started running as fast as he could. And I saw this other little thing run after him.
Bloody hell. This way?
Yeah, that way.
Thanks. I'll give him a silver.
Well, thank you very much. He takes it, puts it in his pocket, and keeps on walking. Philia, you have flown straight up into the air. Make me a perception check to try and find Eric again after you've run off into this alleyway and he's kept going full blast. Oh yeah, he's still screaming and yelling and stuff. So you find him pretty easily. Eric, do you even notice that you're not being chased anymore, or are you just too busy screaming?
I mean, he might look back and just be like, should I just roll a perception check if I look?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
She's still chasing me.
Yeah, probably, I guess. You're just too all over the place to see what's going on.
Yeah, he'll just keep running.
Okay. Philia, you quickly find Eric running through the street, screaming for a mailman, and you're flying far overhead. What are you gonna do?
Can I cover a rope with honey and then estimate how far he's running, like how fast he's running, and if I drop it, I want it to land right in front of him and he'll get tangled in the rope and honey.
Okay. So you're gonna essentially make a booby trap out of honey and rope while flying, and then try and throw it like onto or in front of him.
Yes.
Okay. Make me a survival check to see how well your little makeshift trap works out in terms of making it while you're flying.
No.
Not a good start. So, like, you have this rope and you're kind of flying, following Eric, kind of juggling this rope and honey in your hands, trying to lather it up. And, like, eventually, like, half of your honey, like, drips off the rope or something and falls off. So, like, it's lightly coated parts of it in honey, but it's not anything amazing. You still gonna try and throw it at him?
Yes.
Alright, so I believe this would be a, let me see. I think it's improvised weapon, so you get it's a minus. Is it a -4 or is it -2? Zion, do you remember? Because you have that feat or whatever on your sheet that tells you about it.
My one's just throwing stuff though.
Yeah, but it's like improvised weaponry. Did you put it on your throw anything? That's what it is. You take a -4 penalty on attack rolls with made with an improvised weapon. Is what it is normally. Yeah. So essentially what you're going to do is you're using an improvised thrown weapon. So it would be a strength-based attack with a thrown weapon. So essentially what you'll do you have a base attack bonus as a mesmerist or not?
Nope.
Okay, so essentially it would be a 1d20 plus your strength score. Oh, your modifier, I mean. What's your strength modifier?
1. Can I just roll strength?
Yeah, I think you can just roll strength and that'll be it, because you don't have a base attack bonus.
11.
And then that's with a -4 penalty. What's your armor class, Eric?
My armor class is 11.
So that hits, because it hits your armor class. It's just enough to hit. So this is what I will say is it hits. So you throw this rope down over Eric, but it's not as good as it should be because of the way it was crafted. So I will have you make me a reflex saving throw, Eric.
Okay.
Once I see it's hit, I'm gonna try to, like, go into an alleyway in front of him and, like, approach him that way after, like, putting back on, like, the wing stuff.
Okay, so you're gonna go fly down in front of him?
Yeah.
Well, you quickly notice that so the rope does hit him, and he gets entangled in it for a moment, and it's like kind of sticking to him. It doesn't look like there was enough honey to get him completely entangled, and he manages to break free of your trap with his reflex saving throw.
Goodbye, rope.
The rope's not broken or anything, but he does kind of slip out of it. So he's hindered for a few seconds, and then quickly makes his way out of it again. Are you still gonna try and land in front of him, or?
Yep.
Okay. What, Eric?
Eric's gonna stop running and just start walking on and actually starting to ask people if they have a mailman.
After this weird rope falls out of the sky and hits you, you're just gonna nonchalantly start walking and be like, "Hey, do you guys know where the mailman is?"
Pretty much.
Okay,
Philia's gonna be in an alleyway though, so.
Alright, yeah, you go land in an alleyway somewhere. Gustav, you're running in that direction where you see this bird all of a sudden looks like something falls from it. You can see it's all illuminated by the moonlight, and then eventually it looks like it dives almost straight down.
What the?
It's quite strange, but you're still running in that general direction. And Eric, you are sloshed apparently. You're just in and out of it. You don't even know what's going on. You've stopped and you're just asking people. And Philia approaches you. Philia, what do you say to Eric? Or are you trying to sneak up on Eric?
I'm gonna sneak up on Eric.
Okay. Eric had 3 beers.
I thought we had 4.
Or maybe it was 4. I don't know.
One you first got in, another one that Philia paid for, and then the other one that Gustav went back up and got.
Yeah.
I know, and then Cinder went up and got some as well.
3 or 4. It's ale. It's strong stuff. It's okay. So you're sneaking up on Eric again?
Sneaky, sneaky.
Real, very sneaky. Eric, roll me another perception check.
Come
on! Eric is just too...
Why are all my only good rolls is when I'm trying to do dumb shit?
Yeah, I know, it's true. Eric is too slick. He's kind of doing that weird thing where he whips his body around and stuff, and he's talking to these people, and you're trying to sneak up on him, and he whips around to you and asks you if you know where the mailman is. Probably recognizing who you are after he says where the mailman is.
He's gonna the weirdest thing. This thing fell out of the sky and hit.
First we're gonna tap him. We're psychosomatic surge.
Okay.
Then we're gonna hypnotic stare and painful stare.
Alright.
I thought you had no spell stuff.
Eric, are you doing anything while this is happening? Because I think this is all technically more than one round of action, right?
Nope. Hypnotic stare is a free action, psychosomatic surge is a bonus action, painful stare is a free action.
Oh, but aren't you doing something else, or is that it?
Yep, and for my action's gonna be a lullaby again.
Jesus. What the hell's the point of the psychosomatic surge?
In case he starts running again, I can shoot an arrow at him.
My God!
And negate my damage. But first he's gonna have pain.
Okay. Eric, make a will save. Alright, you finally fail. There's this lullaby that she's singing to you. I mean, like, it kind of takes you off your guard a little bit, and maybe like you feel a little sleepy, but it doesn't really have that bad of effect on you. I mean, you get kind of sleepy because the lullaby is quite nice, but it's just kind of dulling your senses more than anything else.
He's gonna like do his best to just like walk away from Philia and go find the tavern, but he's probably gonna go in the wrong way. It's gonna look like he's just trying to leave, but he's just trying to go back to the tavern.
Okay, so you pretty much just turn around and start walking away?
Yeah.
Okay. Eric just turns around and starts walking away from you.
Is he walking toward the direction of the tavern?
From what you could tell, probably, yeah.
We're gonna walk next to him, keeping up painful stare.
Okay. Just prepared for anything.
And once we cross by the rope, I'm picking up my rope again.
Alright. Eric, are you deviating from the path, or are you just headed back
I
towards
want to
the
make
tavern?
like, what's it, like a survival check to even see if I'm going in the right direction.
Okay, so you don't know if you're headed in the right direction or not.
No.
Alright, yeah, make me a,
I'm helping guide him to the tavern.
But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going to
Advantage on
listen.
this.
he definitely doesn't know where he's going. Roll me a 1d4, Zion. Actually, I'll just roll it myself.
Ophelia's helping him guide the direction of the shop.
Well, that's the thing, is if Eric's gonna fight you. But yeah, you can help. I just don't know what Eric's gonna do. So, Eric is so drunk that he actually, he somehow walks in a circle and starts heading back. He's like headed towards the tavern, and then is so trashed that he starts walking like lopsided and ends up walking back towards the direction he's running away to, which is north.
Ophelia's gonna be like, no, this way.
Are you fighting, Eric? Or are
No.
you giving in? Alright.
I don't want to like follow her direction, but I also don't want to. I don't want to hit her.
Alright. So you guide Eric back on the right path. And you guys start heading back towards the tavern. And eventually you come across Gustav running through the streets. Gustav, you know, you're running in that general direction when eventually you see Eric and Philia kind of tame, you know, just walking side by side.
One's with a deadly stare.
Yes. Philia looks very angry, just staring constantly at Eric, kind of walking a little bit behind him.
Eric's just gonna look like majorly tired and depressed.
Eric looks very defeated and hunched over and sad.
Finally. Getting back now.
I couldn't find the mailman.
We'll find him tomorrow.
Eric's gonna cry. Gustav, you're the best.
Thanks. So just walk with them back.
Okay. Yeah, you guys pretty peacefully walk back to the tavern. And Eric is very sad along the way, kind of crying a little bit to himself. But eventually you guys make your way back to the Iron Candle. And unless Eric resists in any way, shape, or form, you get him up to the room and into his bed, where he gets a nice long sleep for the night.
And once we've like set up Eric and that, I'm gonna give Philia back the key, just like in the hallway. Thanks a lot for your help tonight, Philia. If you weren't here, I would have had a heck of a time.
It's all good.
Sorry about the way I treated you when we first met. You're clearly much more mature than I thought.
Thank you. She's gonna go up to her room and sleep.
Why does that sound so suspicious?
She's sleeping. She's angry and she's sleeping.
Wonderful. Philia is painful staring the ceiling as she falls asleep with her eyes open because she's so angry.
Do you sleep with your eyes open, Philia?
I'll never know because Patrick won't tell us.
Philia will snap her head with painful stare. Not today!
I go to bed too.
Yeah, you guys all find yourself in a deep slumber. Very peaceful night after a very rowdy session leading up to your sleep. But you all get a long rest in and wake up somewhat refreshed in the morning for some of you. Others, Teak, Eric, and Cinder, you all are fatigued from your long night of drinking. If you need to know what fatigued is, it is a status ailment. While fatigued, you cannot run or charge. You have a -2 penalty to strength and dex. You need to get a full night's rest to recover.
Right. Should we head over to the captain then?
Eric's just like, yeah,
Yeah, question, does Teak remember what happened last night? Like past the first 2 ales?
That's probably up to you. I mean, you were pretty drunk, but I don't know if you were blackout drunk or not. You know, yeah, you probably remember a good portion of it, but maybe not all of it. Maybe you remember everything up until, like, going to sleep and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's definitely a little foggy and cloudy in terms of your memory.
Eric remembers everything because he was sober the whole time.
I don't know about that, Eric.
Just kidding.
Gustav, when you awoke this morning, you had a very strange, like a strong itch that you wanted to scratch on your right arm.
Scratch it.
Do you wear your armor to sleep?
I do. So it's under the armor.
Oh, it's under the armor.
Alright, well, I'll take off the armor guard so I can get at the thing.
Okay. Yeah, after you take off some of your arm guards, you notice this kind of strange little blotch of skin on your arm. Something's like not right. And I mean, you've suffered a lot of wounds and bruises and things like that. But this is like, it's hard little blotch of like black skin on you, and
It's black?
yeah, it's weird looking. It's like you scratch at it. I don't know if you do because it's kind of troublesome, but it's itching you like real bad.
Is it like a scab that I can pick off?
It's almost like a scab, but it's not coming off.
Is Eric up yet?
Yeah, I think so. He said something. You guys are probably all out and about. I mean, I think you're all up and awake at this point, but you just happen to notice this thing.
So, like, was it this bad as soon as I woke up, or has it been getting bad or like worse throughout the morning?
I think it was probably bothering you a little bit when you woke up, but it's kind of one of those itch things where it's like the longer you have the itch for, the more it bothers you. And I think it just got to a point where it's just really like drawing your attention.
Are we like at the breakfast table right now, or are we heading to Captain? What's his
I don't
face?
think you've even had breakfast yet. You probably are all just kind of woke up and you made sure that everyone's awake and ready to start the day, and you guys are kind of getting ready to either get food or get dressed and stuff like that for the day.
Alright, I'll go over to Eric as he's getting ready. Oh yeah, Eric.
He's gonna like groan like, Gustav. Good morning.
You like know a lot about herbs and that, right?
Right?
And you said from before when we were in that cart way back when that something about me wasn't natural, right? About my wounds and that.
I think so.
You practice medicine.
He'll nod.
You know what this is? I'll show him my arm.
Can I
Alright.
do what check would be best?
I guess it would be just a heal check, kind of cover medicine in general.
Okay, heal.
Okay. You examine this strange kind of like scab-looking thing on his arm, Eric. And I mean, you look at it for a few minutes, and it doesn't really, like, nothing pops out to you. Like, it's something that you might have to examine further, but if you had to give it your best guess, it almost looks like a scale.
I think he's like he looks at he first like he's just like kind of just like tired and like exhausted looking, and he just looks fed up, but then he's just like he squints at it and he's like, what the fuck? When did you get this?
I think sometime last night, maybe even this morning.
What, last night we were just drinking and eating, right?
Right, yeah. I don't think it has anything special to do with last night, but
Like, can you just it look like something you can just like a scab that you can just like peel off kind of thing, or is it like deeply embedded into his arm?
Oh, it's like embedded in his arm. It's not even like a scab. Like, it looks like it's a part of him.
I've been trying to pick it off, but it's really stuck in there.
He's gonna like point to it like, do you mind? And he's gonna like, you know, like say like, can I touch it kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that's why I came over.
I think he might like use like a cloth over his hand before he like touches it, in case he, like his hands are dirty because he just woke up, but he's gonna like try and feel it and see what it feels like.
Yeah, you touch it. It's almost like touching. It's almost like touching like metal. Like, it's a hard, like, it's like a hard scale almost, like just one single individual scale. Like, it's tough.
Is there anything in my backstory that would tell me about?
There's things in your book that may be included that are relatively similar, but there's distinct differences. This is something that you would probably not have come across before.
What would my book say about this?
What would
Or,
your,
like about something similar to?
I mean, disease?
He's just gonna look at Gustav like, Gustav, I've never seen anything like this. It looks like like you're growing a scale.
A scale?
He's gonna like knock on it, like it's hard. It's like metallic of some sort. Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt, it just itches. I'm gonna like tap it and then tap my actual armor and see how similar they feel.
Yeah, I mean, one's obviously metallic and has a different sound to it when you bang on it, but I mean, the scale's tough. It's, it's like banging on a stone or something like that. Like, it's not soft. It's quite hard.
What you're looking at? What's going on over there?
Gustav's grown a scale.
Well,
A
have you ever
scale?
heard of that? Maybe it's
He's
just
gonna,
some
like-
sort of rash or something.
He's gonna like think back like, and it grew just today, or has it just started itching today?
I mean, the itch started today. I don't normally check myself so closely. No.
Gustav, do you mind giving yourself a quick check?
What, like all over?
Yeah, you never know what else is there. Just because it started itching today doesn't mean you might not have more elsewhere.
Is it what is it then? Some kind of infection or something?
I don't know about infection. I've never seen anything like it, so I can't be sure.
Well, it's probably because he never changes his damn armor. Or he's leaving it on like that. It's no surprise he's got weird things growing on him.
I've never seen anything like this, though. It doesn't seem very natural. He's gonna like knock on it for Cinder to like hear the sound of it.
Yeah, it's like a pretty good thud. It's like knocking on a stone or something.
Teak and Feely are in the room, right?
This
You
is the
guys
dude's
are
room,
in your own room. The
Okay,
ladies'
so we're
room.
not hearing it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Philia's gonna wake up happy and cheery, ignoring what happened last night, and sing good morning to the bees and the duck.
Is Teak gonna join you for singing to the birds and the duck? Or the bees and the duck?
Teak is kind of just laying there.
You're trying
Trying
to
to
buy
con-
as much time as you can before you actually have to get up.
Yeah, because of the headache.
Spectacular. You have this terrible headache, and you're trying to buy as much time as you can, and you usually love Philia singing, and it's quite beautiful this time, but it is also upsetting you a little bit because you have a headache.
Teak's gonna grumble and turn and like roll herself in the blanket and also underneath the bed at the same time. Try to get away from the noise.
You
How much
shield-
does Eric
shield
remember
yourself.
from yesterday?
You probably remember most everything prior to like running out onto the street screaming. Like you probably remember getting up and like trying to leave the tavern and stuff, but I think once you're out there running, you probably don't remember. But I mean, yeah, at this point, Cinder, you hear this kind of knock on this weird scale.
Huh. Well, go on. Get your armor off so we can have a good look at you then.
I think we're making a bigger deal out of this than we need to. It's just an itch.
Gustav, you're growing some rocky metal thing out of your arm.
It's just an
And
itch
you
now.
haven't checked your body.
Before you know it, it's more than an itch, and then you're losing your arm or your toes or something.
Well then,
Had that
maybe
happen to
once we
somebody?
get this, maybe
What
once
the-
we
Wait.
get this gold, then yeah, I can go see a proper doctor.
Somehow I don't think a proper doctor will know anything about. If only Adela was feeling better, we could have asked her. Is there anything in the history that has or in that book that says anything about people turning into something else?
Probably. I mean, have you really covered the book back to back, like front to back?
I mean,
or-
he's had it for a few years, so yeah.
Yeah, you might recall something about the only thing that comes to your mind out of that book was these old fanatics, dragon worshippers doing these rituals to try and become like dragons. They would have some similar kind of side effects, like growing scales, becoming more dragon-like, but usually it would lead to, most of that led to decay, decrepit. Like they became weak and fragile. They looked as if they were dragons in a sense, but it kind of destroyed their body.
I think Eric doesn't want to scare Gustav, but he's gonna be like, Gustav, this might be a little bit more serious than you might think. Please let me give you a check.
How long is this gonna take?
All I need to do is look over and see if you have any more of these.
Fine. Whatever. I'll start taking off the stuff.
If he takes off his breastplate, Eric will look inside the breastplate to see if there's any things inside that might be the same material as the stuff on him. If that makes sense, he's gonna see if there's any
if there's remnants or
Yeah,
small
or residue.
particles, residue.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, go ahead and make me a perception check to look over his armor and everything. Yeah. I mean, he's taking off his armor, you're examining him and his armor, and you give it a pretty good look over, but you don't see anything too out of the ordinary. I mean, there's obviously some weird spots from sweat and water damage and stuff on his armor and different things like that, and maybe a couple spots where maybe there's a little bit of mold or something. I don't know. I don't know how clean Gustav keeps his armor. He's in there all the time, so it's probably not incredibly pleasant inside of there. But you don't see anything that really stands out to you as being related to this weird growth on his arm.
Is there any other growths on his body?
Not at the moment that you can see,
I think he's gonna just look really
Is there any? I have to ask: is there anything else out of the ordinary on Gustav's body, Gustav?
Well, depends on how much I'm taking off. I think I'll stop after the armor, but I'll keep the helmet on.
Okay. So you're standing there in your undies with the helmet on.
Yes.
Great.
Gustav, why are you still wearing a helmet?
Well, it's not gonna be on my head now, is it?
We don't know that.
Am I having a episode right now, Visic?
That's entirely up to you. I don't know. That's
Well, I think the best part would be to roll.
yeah. We can roll. How do you want to roll for it?
So, like, under 10 would be yes, and then over would be
So just
no.
this 50-50 split.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the helmet off.
Do I see any more black?
You scour over his head and like kind of run your hands through his hair and stuff, and there's like a couple scabs on his head that you can clearly see are scabs, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. You seem to be clean. Besides the arm, is it still itching?
Yes?
Yeah, I mean, probably not as bad now that it's like out in the open, but probably, I mean, at this point, it's maybe not necessarily itching, but it feels out of place. Like it feels weird on your arm, so it's like having something there that's not normally there. So you're like feeling it rub up against things and different things out of the ordinary. So it's like it's just strange. You know what I mean?
Okay. Actually feels fine. I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's good that you did. If you don't mind, could you wear your armor as less as possible?
Well, if we get in like a fight.
I just want to be able to check on you as often as I can. So no more sleeping in your armor. We're gonna have checks every morning and every night.
Why don't I just take it off when I wake up then?
Why don't you just sleep out without your armor on?
It's just a habit, I guess.
It's a lot more comfortable to sleep without all of this on.
Fine. At least until it goes away.
Thank you. After we can, if Adela's feeling better, probably ask her as well. If you feel any more itching or strange sensations over your body, come to me first.
Okay. We should check, see if the others are up. Head on over to Captain Cassius.
I think, like, if we go down to breakfast, like, Eric's gonna try and find, like, the healthiest food that he can for Gustav. Because he's like, if he gets, like, weakness, at least he can try and prevent it as much as possible.
So like all veggie, like you're pretty much going to trying to become his caretaker now. So you're going to like all veggies, prepare a bowl of like food for him.
He's not all veggies, like as balanced as possible,
bowl.
like the good shit.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he'll spend more if he has to. Like he'll spend his own money if he has to.
Organic.
Yeah, I do believe that your food's not included with your room, or did you make a special? I can't remember, Fisty. Did you pay extra for food included with the rooms? Is that what happened?
I think Gustav handled the rooms and stuff.
Yeah, 2 gold and 3 silver on room and board. I think that was just for one night, though?
I believe. Well, that's the thing is, I swear didn't you work some kind of deal to include
I thought
the
meals,
food too?
like breakfast
Yeah.
and dinner was included, but...
It was just everything was included except for your drinks.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. You worked a deal for that. Okay, yeah. So, Eric, you probably don't have to pay anything out of pocket. You guys have paid a pretty good sum for the lodgings here are pretty nice, so it's worth a bit of the coin.
If we get any spare time, Eric's gonna try and make some of his mutagens.
I mean, now's your time. Like, you guys, this is kind of your morning to prepare. So if you want to make your mutagens for the day, because your other ones have your mutagens and your extracts or whatever for the day, now's the time because your other ones have worn out after the yesterday and everything. So I assume you guys all kind of take care of your business in the morning for like an hour or whatever. Those that need to do things, and then after that, you guys meet downstairs for food and to discuss the day. Gustav, your food's already ready to go when you come downstairs. Eric has already procured it for you. It's
Okay.
not so lively at this point in the tavern. It's still like there's still other people staying there, and it's relatively busy for a morning, but it's like way less people. So you guys easily get a table that's kind of a little bit farther away from other people if you want, and all sit down with your morning meals.
I think I'll make my extracts based on whether or not what the job is. So I'll just make my mutagen and then I'll.
Okay, yeah. So you make your mutagen, yeah, and then you all meet for breakfast so you can discuss your plans for the day.
You don't have to do all this, Eric. I'm fine.
Look, if what I'm thinking is right, you're gonna need to eat a little bit better. Just until we can make sure that it's not gonna get worse.
Alright. Appreciate it.
Eric will just smile.
Not sure how busy I'll be in the middle of the day. But we should find out just if we head over.
Nod. Is Philia down with them now?
Yeah, I imagine you're all together at this point, down at the table, getting food.
Eric's just gonna sit down and eat, and he's not gonna look at Philia, but he's just like, "Sorry about yesterday, Philia," and then just like keep eating.
Apparently, Philia hates her guts.
Teak has never hated the sun so much.
You mean that was your first time singing?
What?
You said you never sung so much.
Teak has never hated sun so much. The light, it hurts Teak.
Oh. Right, that'll happen. Anything we want to get done before we head over to the captain?
Nothing in
We could
particular.
check on Adela.
Let's go and get that gold. We'll see what's about.
Right, we could, but I think Eric might be onto something. Do we want to check in on Adela? Make sure she's alright? Oh, do you think privacy would be best?
Well, we can check on her after. It's only been not even a full day.
Right, I guess that's true.
I think Eric's just gonna like nod, and then he's gonna stare at Gustav's arm, and then he's gonna go back to eat.
Okay. So you guys have a hearty breakfast, and eventually you make your way out of the Iron Candle and head towards the courthouse, and we'll take a little 10-15 minute break there, and we'll reconvene after that.
Cool, I'll be right back.
Me too.
I'm back. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm here.
Get some jams. So, you guys make your way out of the Iron Candle Inn and back once again into the city of Farhelm. Your destination, the courthouse, to meet with Cassius to learn more about this job that you heard about from him. The travel's not far, and you guys, some of you a little bit tuckered out from the night before, move at a steady pace through the city rather uneventfully, and find yourself back at the courthouse. This time the door is closed, and it appears that the torches are not lit at the moment outside as you find yourself at the courthouse.
But it's daytime, right?
It is daytime, yes.
So that's probably why they're off, and everything's fine. So we should go in.
Yeah, probably. So you guys make your way into the courthouse, or do you knock on the door? Or?
Did we
We're
knock
not-
last time?
I'll try to open it see if it's locked or not.
It's not locked.
Perfect. Open the door.
Okay. You open the door and slowly make your way inside, leading to the room where you guys last had met Cassius. But it is now empty. His desk is still there.
Is the shit, I've just bit myself.
Wow.
Receptionist there?
No, not at the moment.
Is there like a bell we can ring or something?
Yeah, there's probably like a little standing bell next to the desk.
I'm gonna take a quick look for any posters saying like back in 5 minutes or something. And if I don't see any of those, then I'll ring the bell.
No posters or anything. So you ring the bell, and from the back room, you kind of hear faintly, "I'll be there in just a minute." And
Thank you.
You know, a few moments later, down the left hallway where you guys saw Destrian come out of, you see Cassius appear in front of you guys. Ah! Why, hello there.
Morning, Captain. We've come
Nice.
back.
Ah, well, good. It's nice to see you again.
You as well. This is the rest of our team. We'd be interested in that job you had lined up.
Well, allow me to introduce myself. I am the guard captain of Farhelm. And you are. And he walks over to you, Cinder, because you came in first, I believe.
Did you hit your head or something? We just met yesterday. Cinder.
Did we?
Time out. Did they actually meet?
We were at cart.
I thought it was me and Eric.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was Eric. It was Eric and Gustav.
Right. Oh,
I like that
my...
that Ray says we were at cart like Teak would say it too.
Well, I didn't know if you were going
Oh,
for my
right.
name, Cinder.
Cinder.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Cinder. As I said, I'm the guard captain, Cassius Fenwick. It's a pleasure. And you are, ma'am? He looks to you, Teak.
Teak.
Teak, a very modest name. Nice to meet you. And you, young lady. He looks to you.
She will go into a modest curtsy. Anthophilia Malfiera.
Well, it appears we are in the company of a sophisticated woman here. It's a pleasure to meet you, Cassius Fenwick. So, you're the bunch that dealt with the goblins, eh? Spectacular. Okay, well, why don't you, have a seat? I'll get some more chairs. In fact, why don't you follow me back to my office? It'll be easier that way.
Eric will walk on after him. Lead the way, Cap.
Yeah, he leads you back into his corridor. And there's like a side room there where there's some like benches lined up. It looks like, seeing as this is a courthouse, normally where someone would pass judgment with some sort of crowd, and there's like a table at the end. And Cassius goes and sits down at this desk while you guys can have a seat on these benches across from him.
Eric will sit as close as possible.
Yeah, make yourself at home. So, here's what I need from the lot of you. This is a bit of a tricky situation. There is a Dracmorian noble family that live within Farhelm at the moment. They go by the name of Wyvern Spear, a name they earned many centuries ago. And their daughter, Susanna, has gone missing. Now, this isn't the first time that she's gone missing, I can tell you that much. But this is the longest she's gone missing for. And normally, as you may imagine, there are plenty of missing people within a city such as Farhelm, people going in and out every day. But I cannot sit idly by and ignore such a well-known family.
Can I do like a history or something check to see if I recognize it?
Sure.
Nobility? Knowledge, nobility?
Yeah, give me a nobility check.
Don't you have some guards that can
We're besties.
take care of this one?
Eric, the name does somewhat ring a bell. Wyvern Spear. They're an old line of dragon blood, essentially, through the Dracmorian Empire. They used to be dragon riders and things like that, but seeing as they're not quite as common anymore these days, or as easy to come by, they no longer are dragon riders, but they are still a fairly well-known.
So, by dragon riders, you mean they're not
nobility.
dragon killers?
Well, yeah, pretty much. They're not dragon killers, they're not dragon riders. They're not what they used to be, as that used to be the most prestigious of things within Dragonfire, but they're still very well known.
Okay.
You probably don't know. You probably know the house name, but not much more about the
Yep.
individuals in the house. As far as that goes.
Captain Fenwick, where did she disappear off to before? Was she kidnapped or something?
Well, let's keep it to one question at a time. Sir, your question first is as far as guards go. Most guards aren't paid very well, and they are only paid to guard the streets. Some are even volunteers. It's not a job for them. Someone goes missing like this, it could be many, many things. As far as her going missing before, let's say that she doesn't quite see eye to eye with her parents. And sometimes she would take leave of them for a few days at a time.
If we take this job, can we take a look around their house?
Well, that's entirely up to them in the end. Of course, you are free to go and speak with them and find out any information you can, but essentially what I'm offering you here is 1,000 gold to find out what has happened to her and where she may be. If she has been taken, I'll give you an additional 1,000 gold to bring her back and bring her assailants to justice.
Assailants.
Well, if they are assailants, if she's been kidnapped, if she's been taken, if she's been murdered, you understand? If you find who's done it, I'll give you an additional 1,000 gold. 2,000 gold. If she's just gone missing, run away again, and you find her and bring her back, hey, that's 1,000 gold for the lot of you.
If they're bad guys, do we bring bad guys back alive or kill?
Well, preferably alive, but the number one priority here is making sure that Susanna is okay, so if they need to be dead, then so be it. But we would like to know who they are and why they've taken Susanna.
I think Eric's gonna look over at Gustav and the rest of them, and like, I'm okay with doing this job.
Right, it's good to do good. Is this something we have to do on the sly, or can we openly talk about it?
Well, I suppose that depends. Who do you plan on talking to this about?
Probably her family at least. See if she had any enemies, or the family does. Anyone who might mean them harm.
Well, of course. I mean, speak to whom you need to. I wouldn't go around saying too much around town, but it's not any sort of conspiracy or big secret. They just want their daughter back. They seem to be quite nice people from when I've spoken to them.
You mentioned before that they have some disagreement sometime with the daughter. Do you know what that's all about?
Well, I don't have personal insights to everything about the Wyvern Spears, but they are a very, shall we say, militant family. Many generations within the Drachmoyan Empire, proving themselves time and time again. As for what the specifics are with young Susanna, you'd probably have to ask them, but as far as I gathered, she didn't seem to be too keen on following family tradition.
Right, fair enough. So if we go over and head over to the Wyvern Spear estate, do you know where exactly that is? What the names of the parents are? We can probably start there.
Oh, of course. They reside within the theater district. They have a fairly sizable estate for a city like this. 3-story building, servants, things like that. The father, his name is Elaine Wyvernspear, and her mother is Isabel Wyvernspear. Sir and Lady, respectively. Their other children are not home at the moment. Most of them are out and about within the Dracmorian Empire, so it won't be likely that you'll have to deal with them.
I guess we'll head out then.
The family's so well known in Dracmor. Why are they here in Farhelm?
It's one of those things that, I mean, you'd have to talk to them, but I suppose you're somewhat new to town, but the Dracmorians have been trying to make Farhelm a kind of foothold and a passage point into the Dracmorian Empire for years, so having a well-known militant family like the Wyvernspears within town is not such a bad thing for them.
I wonder what the church thinks about it.
Well, the church and the Dracmorians seem to get along all right.
Interesting.
I suppose. I mean, other than that, the only other thing I can tell you, she's been gone about 5 days or so.
5 days?
Well, at first they thought she'd just run away again. She usually goes missing for 2 or 3 days at a time, and as time kept going on, she,
didn't show up.
Exactly. So they've become a bit concerned. This is the longest she's been gone so far, so...
Well, we had better hurry then.
I suppose you should. Any other questions you have for me before I send you on your way?
Is there any way we can just avoid trouble with the church? I've
In
heard
what
they're a bit
regard?
rough. I don't know, just in case we don't want to offend them.
Well, you are on official business for me, so they shouldn't be getting in your way. All I can say other than that is avoid them best you can.
Alright.
So if we look for this 3-story building in the theater district, we'll find it?
Shouldn't be very hard to find. It's a fairly large estate. People will know it. Just ask around.
Right. You want us to report in on the regular, or should we just come back when we've got something?
Depends on what you find. If you find any useful information that I may need to know and I could further the investigation with, then make sure you bring it to me. But otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, you can come back as when you find her. But like I said, if you have anything important that I should know, send me a letter, send someone to tell me whenever you need to. I'll be here.
I think that's everything.
Oh,
Well.
Before we head off, I don't suppose you being the captain of the guard and all, you have a spare knife laying around that maybe I could borrow?
A knife? Pardon me.
Or like a small dagger of sort? Something
What exactly
small.
would you be needing this for?
Oh, well, You see, I mean, I already have a blade, as you could probably see, but I don't quite have something a little bit smaller. I mean, it might come in handy if we have to travel, you know, cutting things, ropes and such, etc., etc.
Well, I don't just have a slew of weapons sitting around on me, but if you make your way to the ironclad blacksmith and talk to Londa and let her know that I sent you, she could probably supply you with a small dagger.
Ah, well, thank you.
Wonderful. Best of luck to you then. I hope to see you very soon and with Susanna in hand.
I think like Eric's about to leave, and then he's like, one last question, unrelated to the situation.
Uh-huh.
If there was a person who was being visited by the church, and these visits weren't the most pleasant, is there anything we could do to stop that?
Well, that sounds like an issue you'd have to take up directly with the church. Unfortunately, they act on a higher power, and not even the captain of the guard can question a power like that. I'm just a mere man, doing simple work.
He's just gonna nod. Thanks, Captain.
Of course.
I think as we're leaving, I like give a little half salute or something, and then bail out of it, just leave.
Spectacular. Alright. Yeah, you give him a little half-ass salute, and you guys make your way outside once again. Where are you guys headed? Are you gonna head straight to the Wyvern Spear estate, or
Is the blacksmith on the way, or is it like a big detour?
it's a bit of a detour. It's actually like it's not the direct opposite area, but it's. I mean, you'd have to go past the theater district.
I think you can hold off on that dagger, Cinder.
Aye, we can hold off. It's no rush.
Right then. Should we head over to the Wyvern Spears estate?
Eric will nod. Nobles can sure be messy.
Wouldn't know.
So, Gustav, what have you been doing up until now? You know, besides the band of the Hawk, was it?
Aye. Captain Griffith was great. It was a band of the Fox.
My bad.
Yeah, Cinder and I have been working for them for a bit, but before then, I'm from Drakenmore. Low-level military.
Where were you born? Dragonmore?
Yeah, Strathmore, Drakmore, to be specific.
Have you lived there your entire life?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
You think? What about your parents?
Yeah, my mum was there.
What about your father?
He was gone.
From the beginning?
Yeah. What
I'm
about
sorry,
you?
I don't mean to be intruding. I'm just curious as to why you have this sudden...
Would you just drop it for now, right? It's not even bothering me.
Well, it's bothering me.
What not?
Gustav.
What not bother?
Right. Just have a bit of a skin thing. Probably because I keep sleeping in my armor. It's not a big deal.
Have you tried rubbing dirt on it?
No, but I will. It's a real suggestion. Thank you, Teak.
Teek's gonna nod wisely.
Gustav, I'm just concerned. It's strange and unheard of. And
I appreciate that, but it's not even been a day. I think we might be... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Would Philia know anything about a skin thing that does that?
Probably not. Unless there's something unless there's something I don't know about Philia. But I don't
Public
necessarily think
sponsored
so.
education.
Nah, this isn't something you would learn in a public sponsored education area. This is very selective education. Specialty.
Yeah, you would have
Alright,
had to gotten a
Gustav.
PhD in lizard skin, Patrick, to know.
I'll drop it for now, Gustav, but eventually we're gonna go see Adela, and if she still doesn't know, just for my forgot the phrase?
Right, if it's even still there after this, we can go see Adela.
Right. But just keep an eye on any growths and sudden itches.
Right. Appreciate it.
Alright. And you guys, talking along the way, finally find yourself in the theater district. It's you probably don't even have to ask around, because once you kind of make your way through the town, you can see there's a very large estate. It's almost like the size of three or four houses put into one, and it's just stacked up. It's just this large rectangular box taking up a corner of this street. 3 stories high, a large stone fence around the outside, and you can see between the house and the stone fence there's some grass and gardens and things like that growing on the inside. And you can see there's a front gate entrance to this estate, which has 2 city guards stationed on the outside.
Well, this must be it. Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
You can see now why we're getting 1,000 gold.
How many people you think live in there?
Probably not a lot.
Teek sleep in trees.
Thanks,
Philia's
Teak.
gonna
Thanks,
look
Teak.
on unimpressed, but act impressed because everybody else seems to be impressed, and she doesn't want to look stuck up.
It's like a normal house for her.
Yeah. How quaint.
Is
like
this
our
a summer
guest house.
cottage?
I walk up to the guard at the fence, or at the gate rather.
Yeah, when you approach, they cross their kind of halberds and stop you from entering. Hey, what business do you have here?
We have business with the forgive me, my memory elapses me, sir. Ewain and Lady Isabel.
Hey, And who sent you?
Captain Fenwick.
Ah, good. He mentioned there might be a group of people coming down over here. Why don't you just go in then?
Thank you very much.
They uncross their halberds and you guys approach this door. And on the door you can see it's like this very large double door, and like the knockers on the door, like these big dragon heads all cast in iron.
Scary.
Yeah, they're knockers. Would you like to use them?
He'll knock on the door, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, after about 2 seconds, you see a small man open the door, wearing very not casual, but like peasantry clothes almost. And he waves you on, and you can see standing in the center of this large open room. There's like a table, round table in the center with like an extravagant furnishing, like plant furnishing. I can't think of the actual name of it all of a sudden. But essentially just this extravagant plant furnishing. You can see like all within this large chamber room, there's decorations all over the walls and like paintings and stuff like that. And standing in front of this table, there's a very large man. And as the door opens to you guys, this man who opens the door kind of puts his hand out as in for you to enter.
He'll walk through and like stare at his friends.
Okay. Yeah, you walk through and into this large chamber room, and you can see in the back there's like the stairs that kind of branch out in either direction leading up, and they're covered in like a fine felt cloth. And this man is huge, large guy. He's like a fine tunic on, and it's all embroidered with like gold leaf and all that shit. Very nice stuff. And he puts his arms out and he says, "Welcome to my humble abode. I am Ewain Wyvernsphere."
Lord Wyverns?
Aye, that is I.
We were sent by Captain Fenwick.
Ah, good. I have been expecting you. And you can see as you approach this man, he stands quite tall. Taller than both you and Cinder and Gustav. He's about 6'6", and he's an older man. Mid to late 50s, roughly. Kind of dark blue eyes, shoulder length, like gray white hair, kind of slicked back with a trim beard across his face. And you can see over his left eye, he has a large vertical scar over his eye, and his eye's white because it's now dead from whatever happened to it. Well, please, come in.
Eric will walk in.
Is he like motioning us to sit somewhere?
No, he's just motioning for you to come in closer to him.
I'll do so.
Welcome. Can I interest you in some fine wine or food?
Would it be rude of us to not accept?
What's your nobility knowledge? Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, like, it would be somewhat rude. It's like you're not supposed to get drunk or anything, but
Eric will
Round
like, oh,
two.
thank you.
please come with me.
He'll like walk after again.
Yeah, and he leads you
Sweating
guys
bucket.
through this large open room into another, and you can see there's just this dining hall. Eventually, he leads you in, and it's like 20 seats deep. And eventually, he leads you to the table and has you guys sit down. And he sits down at the head of the table, and you guys can sit on either side of him. And after you guys sit down, you can see these kind of servants come out, and they have very fine metal goblets and things like that they're bringing out, and they're pouring this wine out for you. And in the center of the table, there's fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that. Stuff that you won't commonly find as much, grapes and things like that, because there's no real way to preserve them very well, so it's hard to get very good fresh fruit like this. You can tell it's rather expensive. And
Thank you so much.
of course. So, you are sent here by Cassius?
Yes, Lord. Spare wife and spare.
Jesus. Good. I am very worried about my daughter. She has been missing for nearly 5 days, maybe more. I have lost track in my despair.
We heard she's usually only disappearing for 2 or 3 days. Have you ever found out where she goes during these times?
I have had her followed a few times. Occasionally, she runs off with a boy. As far as I can tell, his name is Robert Draird. He's a common street rat. No good for my daughter.
Do you know where we could find this Robin Spare?
Pardon me?
Do you know where we could find this Robin? This man?
Robert? I do not know. He usually hangs around somewhere in the theater district, but he's always moving. It won't be easy to find.
Was your daughter doing anything different before she left this time?
Different? Different how?
I don't know. Do you think she might have taken anything with her?
Was there like a fight? Was she talking about something?
Well, you see, this is not very easy for me to talk about.
I'm so sorry.
But
I
I
don't
do.
mean try.
It's okay. I understand. I do fight with my daughter very often. She does not want to be like the rest of her family.
And what is that exactly when you say doesn't want to be like the rest of the family?
Ah. Well, my wife and I have made quite a name for ourselves in terms of our own lifetime beyond just the Viper and Spear name. My children are all part of the Drakmorian military. She is not interested in such things. But I have a duty to keep on the Wyvern Spear name. I understand it is not easy, but she will not listen to me.
Right, I see. Now, apart from, the obvious reason of kidnapping your daughter, assuming she is kidnapped, that being ransom, do you have any enemies or anything or people that might want to stick one to you or the family?
Of course. Many enemies. Being as well known throughout the Drakmorian Empire as we are, we have many enemies. Iron Court specifically. But in terms of anyone that I know personally within the city, I could not think of anyone who would want to harm my family or my daughter.
Alright then. Well, I guess we're heading out looking for this Robin Dryad fella.
Eric will not.
Wait. Can Teak see room of daughter?
Oh right, of course.
You want to see her room?
Yes, please.
I'm not entirely comfortable with it, but suppose I could show it to you.
You can stay with us the entire time, so that you can trust that we won't take anything.
I trust you. Alright, follow me.
As we're following, I just sort of give Eric a look. Why would you even bring that up?
Because we need him to... I don't want him to think we're gonna take anything. Why else would he be worried about us going into her room?
Right, I know, but just don't introduce the possibility, maybe.
I'm just trying to let him know that we're trustworthy. That he can stay with us the whole time.
Right,
Watch us like a whore.
Teak is eating some grapes that she had speared onto her claws as they follow him.
Wonderful.
Bilia's gonna prestidigitation any juice that falls on the floor and clean it up instantly.
It's a great idea. Alright. So you're cleaning up after Teek's mess as you guys move to this large house. And eventually he takes you back to that main room and up the large staircase, and eventually it leads to this long, wide hallway, and there's a slew of rooms there, and one of the rooms towards the end, he opens the door for you all, and this is our room. Please, have a look.
Eric will walk in.
Can I detect magic?
Yeah, go ahead. You, detect magic, and, you don't see anything necessarily magic in the room, but when you look at Ewain, there's a faint aura glowing around him.
I'm gonna search the room for obvious weapons or signs that this Susanna is capable in a fight.
Okay, so you want to
Go ahead,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, you go ahead. Everyone tell me what you want to do, and then we'll go through it.
Teak is gonna immediately start sniffing like Susanna's personal like objects, and it's gonna look a little odd, like a small dirty person just like putting her dirty hands all over like her
Oh no.
in it, but he's doing it for good reason. Teak wants to know her scent.
Eric's gonna look through her stuff, like her cupboards and drawers, to see if like she's packed stuff and taken it with. Like if there's like a sizable chunk of her stuff missing. Maybe dust marks of where things were sitting down and they've been picked up, or she like.
Okay.
Delia's gonna find a chair, sit in it, and just help with dancing lights and like move them around to where people are looking.
Okay. Cinder? What were you saying?
Cinder is going to stand by the door, but glance over the room and see what the most expensive item is.
Alright, so you can make me an appraisal check. Eric can make me a perception check. Teak can make me a survival check. And Gustav, what exactly are you doing?
I am looking to see if there's like armor or weapons on display, if they look like they're used often. Just signs that Susanna is a capable fighter.
Okay.
Appraisal check? What is that? Is that
Appraise.
It's the second
Appraise.
from the top.
Oh,
You're trying
okay,
to
it's at the top.
determine value of items. I mean, Gustav, you can see clearly without even a check that there are no like weapons in her room. I mean, her room is very plain compared to like a lot of the rest of the house. Like, it looks like she's purposely had everything kind of dulled down. Like most of the rest of the house is like all done up exquisitely and very expensively and nicely, but she's got a pretty modest bedroom, modest in size, and
Kind of minimalist.
yeah, kind of minimalist. Like there's a bed in there, there's a dresser, and like not a ton else, like some small furniture and stuff, but no weapons or anything.
Okay.
Teak, you are kind of sniffing around through her, like, I guess what's happening is Eric is like looking through her like dresser, and you're kind of grabbing things and sniffing them as he's searching through this dresser. But she uses, perfume and these other things, and there's so many different scents, you're having a really hard time picking up on just one of them. It's like almost like your tracking is getting overloaded by all these different scents happening.
Teak's gonna go, bleh. And then she's gonna kind of retreat because it's gonna be very like it's gonna be an affront to her senses.
Eric, you notice that there's like a lot of very nice clothes in here. In one of the drawers you find some kind of out of place clothes, like they're a little bit more plain, but that's about it. Nothing out of the ordinary in this dresser.
What do the plain clothes look like?
I mean, it's just like a standard short tunic kind of shirt and some pants. A lot of the other items are like, fanciful robes or like dresses and things like that.
I think he's just gonna take note, like, oh, this looks weird, and then like put it back and close the thing and just keep looking.
Yeah, and Elaine is just kind of standing at the door, hulking there. And after you guys spend a few minutes looking around, he looks to the group of you guys. Then, have you found anything of use?
Eric will just say, besides the strange outfit, nothing really. Is anything missing from it though?
Not to my knowledge.
No,
Nothing
I
is
mean, I'm
missing.
asking, like, you, Visik, the DM. Was anything missing
What?
out of her?
Not that you would. How would you know? You really do.
Alright, true.
Plus, he rolled a shitty perception check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he looks at you guys.
There are many smells Teak can't get good smell. Can Teak smell you?
I suppose.
Teak smells him. Should I roll another survival?
Sure, yeah. Very musky warrior scent. You don't really pick up on anything ordinary. You just kind of get his scent.
To take that, she's just gonna step back, and she's just gonna kind of nod and hope that maybe the daughter will smell a little similar.
Okay.
Question. While I was sitting on the chair and like helping with the lights, can my duck look around and see if anything looks off to it?
Yeah, I'll make a roll for your duck. Are you having the duck look for anything in particular, or?
Nope, just like look around, see what happened. Note that a duck has +1 wisdom and +3 to perception.
What the heck?
Hell yeah.
How is the duck wiser than I am?
It's a powerful duck. Variable. Accept it. The duck looks around, kind of quacking and waddling as it goes. And it's very keenly looking, but it doesn't really manage to find anything out of place. Like, it just doesn't seem like there's anything out of the ordinary in her room.
There's an
I think-
alarming lack of water in this bedroom.
Alarming lack of water.
Yeah, because the duck's looking for water.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Eric's gonna take out the clothes, the dodgy looking one, and then he's gonna wait for Teak to come over there.
Okay. Are you
Teak
waving?
will
You're waving for
will
Teak?
approach.
Okay, yeah. Teak walks over.
And then he's gonna pull out a fancy outfit. Like, do these two clothes smell different to you?
Does Teak need to roll another survival?
I think you've rolled enough. They smell pretty similar to you.
Clothes smell same, many scents, using nasty perfume.
I see you have found her other clothes. She sometimes steals from the servants, dresses down, looks less suspicious out on the streets.
Ah. Strange.
What does daughter look like?
Susanna, she's the loveliest of my daughters. Quite young, 19, tall like her mother, 5'9" or so. Large, pale green eyes, very pretty. Long,
Eric will smile listening to the dad complimenting his daughter.
long, flowing blonde hair as her mother's. She usually wears it in 2 long braids that go down below her waist. And she does like her jewelry, even if she doesn't always like her clothes. She loves her jewelry.
Is there anything she loves wearing the most?
She has a pair of earrings that her mother gave to her. They're
You,
long, almost like swords.
I'm sorry to ask this, but you sound as if the mother is passed on?
Oh, no. Sorry, I did not mean to give off any idea. Isabel is very much alive and well.
Huh.
She's just... well, grief-stricken. I did not want to burden her with meeting new people. I apologize.
He'll nod. I think we better head out, guys, and go look for her then.
Is that all you need to see?
Well, do you know what dirty boyfriend look like?
I have not seen him myself. They tell me he has short, black, dirty hair.
Oh, who's the one who's seen the boyfriend?
One of my servants
May
saw
we speak to him?
Of course. Let me fetch him. And when he says fetch him, he like goes over to one of his other servants that's been going around with you guys and asks him to fetch this man. And after like a few minutes of standing there, this kind of raggedy man comes up. He's a little bit taller, like average height, like 5'10", somewhere around there. Stubble, pretty dirty. He has like one of those kind of classic kind of peasant hats on, the like leather kind of cap thing with the flaps on the side, and like a dirty tunic. This is Hargir. He tends to my stables. He saw one night Robin came back with Susanna. And the servant kind of walks past old Owain, big man, and puts his hand out to like shake yours, Eric, because you're the one standing right there.
Eric will shake his hand.
Yeah, hello there. My name is Hargir. What is it that you're looking to know?
We were wondering if you could tell us about this man that Susanna had been seen sneaking away with.
Robin. Yeah, I've seen him a few times now. They usually try and sneak down around the stable somewhere, and I tend to find him. He's a quick one though. He gets away every time. But I'm afraid I can't tell you too much about him. He's a bit of a street rat. Somewhat of a reputation for taking things that don't belong to him. I don't know where he's holed up.
Do you know anyone that might have an idea?
I'm afraid I don't really know. I don't associate with the not so wholesome type. You know what I mean?
Right, of course. Understandable. Do you have a description of the guy?
Yeah. About my height. Around the same age as Susanna, as far as I can tell, maybe a little bit older. Short, black hair, dirty. Wears a kind of dark tunic. And I usually see he's got some sort of short sword on him or something. You know, trying to put on a bit of a show, I think, for old Susanna there.
Right, of course.
Yeah. Anything else I can do for you?
I think that's it from me. Does anybody else have any questions?
I'm good.
No, I'm pretty good.
Cinder?
Well, all right
Weird
then.
question. Can I sense motive the guy that's telling us the information to see if he's like leaving out bits or like not saying everything? Or...
Yeah, go ahead. We'll see. We'll see what you can figure out. It's hard to get a read on him. You know, he seems like he could be telling the truth, but you don't really know.
Well, then I think better head out now.
Well, I'll be taking my leave then.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he kind of heads off and leaving you with Elaine there. I have to say, as much as Susanna did not like fighting and things like that, I'm sorry, it's difficult to talk about. But she is capable. I have trained her from a young age. She would not be taken without some sort of struggle, you understand?
Right. We'll make sure to look for that as well. Does Susanna have a preferred choice of fighting style? Weapon?
Well, I trained her myself. She usually uses a longsword and shield, but she doesn't carry weapons with her. As I said, but she is somewhat capable.
Maybe we should take some for her just in case we run into her and some trouble.
What do you mean?
Well, if she is in trouble and we do find her, maybe a weapon would let her help us while we help her. You know?
I see. I suppose I could give you something. Let me think. I'm afraid I don't have much more than decorations and my own personal equipment in the house, but I could give you some gold and you could purchase some weapons from Londa at the Ironclad Blacksmith. She is quite good. She is young, but she knows what she is doing.
He'll nod. Alright, we'll go visit Lando.
Yeah, he hands you 50 gold pieces.
He'll take the money. Alright then, shall we head out, guys? And he'll look over to, like, the team.
Yeah.
Philia will nod.
Please, bring my daughter back. If you need anything, you just let me know, and I will help you in any way that I can.
He'll nod, be like, we'll try our best.
Thank you.
And then Eric will just, like, wait to be shown out.
Yep. He and the servant kind of walk you guys back to the front door and escort you outside. Where you guys eventually find yourselves back outside.
To Lando's then?
Think so.
Teak.
Can I have everybody
Also-
roll me a perception check, by the way?
Perception?
And Teak, what were you gonna say?
Teak.
Linguistic?
Teak have idea.
What's your idea?
Boyfriend. Dirty. Maybe Destrian have info. Teak always go to Destrian for info.
That's a great idea, T.
Not a bad idea at all. Are we like fully outside the estate or just outside like the house at this point?
You're just outside the house at this point, making your way out of the actual estate.
Are the stables within the grounds?
Yes, the stables are within the grounds.
Should we check out the stables before we leave?
Sounds like a good idea too.
That's where he was hanging about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna make your way around to the stables.
Yeah, look for clues.
Alright. I'll be right back. Real quick. 1 second. Then we'll continue.
The worst DM on the planet. He's leaving in the session.
The roll that doesn't count. I feel like it was a shit night last week as well. It's been like 2 consecutive weeks of like rolls of no higher than 12.
Gustav, you guys are talking about the stables and heading over, and you probably see this first, followed by Philia, coming from behind the estate. There's a large column of black smoke kind of appearing in the distance of the city.
Oh, bloody hell. What now? I'll just sort of point.
Philia's gonna see the black smoke, like, slightly panic, not know what to do, then take off, like, the back half of her disguise and, like, fly up to see what the smoke's about.
I think everyone's just
Okay.
gonna be like, Philia, no! As like she's like going into the air.
Does that stop you, Philia, or do you continue going in the air?
If someone can't listen to me when I cast forbid action, I'm not listening if you're not.
Damn.
No, it's because someone might see you.
All right. Philia, you fly up into the air, soaring high, almost not a care if someone sees you or not. And in the distance, you can see there's a fire, and this large column of black smoke is coming up from it.
Where's
Looks
this
like
fire
it's
from?
it looks like a building's on fire near the housing district.
Adela.
Is it where Adela's house would be?
Make me a knowledge geography check and see how well you know the city.
Fuck.
You have a tough time figuring out exactly where it is with your knowledge of the city, but I mean, you know it's in the general direction of where Adela's house could be. You just don't know if it's the right spot.
Philia, what do you
Philia's
see?
gonna. There's a building on fire near the housing district.
Eric's gonna start running.
Okay.
What are we all running off for? It's not like fire is anything to worry about.
We're working for the city, right? I'll start jogging into a sprint after Eric.
Okay, so Eric takes off first, full sprint, followed by Gustav.
Wait, can Eric run? I thought we were fatigued.
He
Cause I can't.
Oh, he can't. That's true. He can't fully run. That's right. He starts moving. He starts moving at a decent pace, but
I'll follow as fast as the hangover allows.
Yeah,
me.
Gustav can definitely outpace Eric at this point. Eric's pretty tired. Gustav, are you gonna break off ahead of Eric, or?
Well, I've run beside him for a bit. What made you run after the smoke?
He's gonna be like, the city doesn't like Adela. I just need to be sure if she's good.
You think it could be our place?
Do we just can't be sure?
I'm gonna look at everybody, be like, see ya there. As Philia's gonna fly up so she looks like a bird again, and
Eric's just gonna
eat it.
yell, stay safe, Phil.
I'll run on ahead, and I'll run too.
I'm a sprint fly.
So Philia ignores Eric's calls, and Gustav runs ahead. Teak and Cinder, you guys following?
Yeah, Teak is definitely following. She followed as soon as Eric went off. But
so you're following behind Eric. Cinder, what are you doing? Everyone else has just kind of left you. They started running.
What about the stables? We're not getting paid to put out fires.
They're jogging away, Cinder. They can barely even hear you.
I follow.
All right.
You just continue the investigation.
I was thinking about it.
There's a scrap of a black tunic here.
All right, so you guys start making your way through the city, and I mean it's pretty large. So even at full sprint and fly, it's going to take you a little bit of time, and eventually, Philia, you're fastest flying, so you are the one who gets there first. And what you see once you arrive is, it looks like this fire's contained to a single building at this point. And it's been doused. It looks like, I mean, you recognize it once you're here, as this is Adela's house, and it's charred and almost completely burnt down, but it looks like it's been contained to just her building. But you're still hovering above, and there's just this large column of smoke flying into the air.
Is anybody else nearby the house that's looks like they started it, or can I see a person that might be Adela?
You can see that there are two people standing out front of this house at the moment, and it looks like they're in a position to try and keep other people away from the house.
Philia's gonna land on an alley a block down, and then run to the pillar of fire after putting on disguise.
Okay, so you put on your disguise and run down this alleyway towards the building that is now just a kind of pile of rubble in a sense. And you can see that there's lots of people in the street kind of gathering around, and they're kept back by these other people and being pushed away, and they're kind of, as you're getting there, these people are kind of dispersing at this moment. And you can see through the large crowd coming from the other direction that there's almost like a path cut through it, like someone may have walked through there. And at this point, most people are kind of dispersing, and there's these two figures left standing in front of this house at the moment, almost like on guard. They have kind of these long, flowing tunics with a symbol of a sword with a large kind of radiant light coming from it, and they also have shields and long swords on them, and the shield has the same symbol on it.
So, who was there?
Can I?
Oh, this is Philia. Okay.
Can I? Once people have dispersed far enough, Philia's gonna walk past, like, while people are still walking. Once there's a 40 foot, like, diameter, like, of safety around the house, I'm gonna put in a, entangled underneath their feet so they will also be enveloped by the fire?
What?
The fire's pretty much out at this point. It's just like the charred, it's just like the charred remnants, and the smoke is still coming off the building.
That would have been amazing, though.
I couldn't add them to the fire. Very disappointment.
If you could push them, like, I mean, they could. It's not really a fire, but it's definitely hot, like charred, like coals at this point. Okay, damage could be done to them, but you'd have to be pushed into it essentially.
I couldn't use entangled to make a fire.
Yeah, you maybe could. The hot coals could maybe start a fire, but they'd have to be entangled there for quite some time to catch on fire. But regardless, we'll see what you want to do. It's going to take a little bit for people to disperse, so I mean, while you're waiting, Gustav probably arrives. He's not too much slower than you, I don't think.
Is there like a crowd blocking me from it?
I mean, essentially what happens is once you're getting there is like you're having to fight your way through this kind of crowd and push up. But like by the time that you make your way to the house is probably when most people are somewhat dispersed because it's the only way that you can get through.
Yeah, one of the crowd people, I'll just say, what happened?
Yeah, you grab some, like, there's a random woman, she's like, the New Dawn. They set fire to a house. I think there was someone inside of there.
What? What's... Aren't the guards doing something about this?
I don't know. It's horrifying. I don't know what's going on. There's New Dawn people outside guarding it. Look, I have to get out of here. It's dangerous. Best of luck to you. She kind of shuffles on past you.
Okay. I'm gonna look up. Do I see Philia?
No. I mean, Philia's, as far as you know, Philia's gotten here before you. She's pretty fast and
Right.
flying.
I'm gonna try to approach, but like, try to keep a low profile. I'm not gonna sprint in there.
Right. You're not necessarily stealthing, but you're trying to keep, like, you're trying to blend into the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, how well do you know what Philia looks like in her disguise?
I mean, I've seen her in her disguise more than I've seen her out of it, so...
Yeah, so I mean, you're probably kind of like steadily trying to make your way through this crowd, and I'm sure you can probably make out Philia because she's one of the few people kind of like standing still outside of this place.
I'm gonna try to get close to her.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make your way up next to her, and it's just the two of you, and you can see these two guards in front of you.
I'm gonna bend down and take her by the hand and just say, "Gotta get out of here, Philia."
Philia is gonna look at one of the guards. Hypnotic stare.
All right,
Murderous command.
all right.
And since there's a crowd, she's gonna do this while walking away but looking back.
Okay, let me look at this. Hypnotic stare. That's the -2, no matter what on will saving throws, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then they have to make a will saving throw for murder's command. Okay,
And then I painful stare at the other guard.
let me make a saving throw here. Okay, they rolled really well, actually. So you use your murderous command. How does your murderous command work? It's a verbal thing. So, like, what do you say? What do you say to activate your murderous command? Do you like whisper it, or do you yell it so it can hear you, or like what? 'Cause it's like a mental urge. So what? How's it work?
Philia's just gonna look with very disappointed eyes and whisper something underneath her breath and like shake her head
Okay,
as if she was very disappointed of what happened.
Gustav, you try and pull Philia away, and you feel like a very sharp pain in your right arm.
Is it the same spot as the black spot?
Yeah. Can you make me a fortitude saving throw, my friend?
Nice.
All right, Gustav. You feel like your right arm is in like great pain, and you're like fighting your right arm, but it's like reaching to your back.
Oh.
Like out of your control.
I'll use my left arm to try to stop the right one.
All right. Make me a strength saving throw, or not a saving throw, but a strength check.
Wow.
It's your right arm is just overpowering, and you're standing there shaking with your left arm on your right arm, and it reaches over your back and pulls out your greatsword. And these two acolytes standing there, they look at you, and they're just essentially confused. What do you do?
Just get out of here, Philia, now.
Philia? Are you
Philia's
leaving?
thinking.
You're running out of
Philia's
time,
thinking.
Philia. These guards see that Gustav has his weapon out, and they turn to him, drawing their weapons. Drop your weapon!
I'm gonna take a couple steps towards him just to look like I'm not associated with Philia.
Okay. So you step towards them, and they say, "Don't come any closer!"
I'll stop. I come to help. Someone could be in there.
Oh, you can be sure that someone was in there. They're done for now.
Where are we?
You guys
Philia?
are slow as fuck.
What's he gonna do, Philia?
How fast can I draw a bow and shoot it?
That would be, that would be determined by initiative.
You could do it in the same round if you had the quick draw thing, right?
Isn't it bonus action, then action to shoot, and then free action painful stare? Can I do that?
I think it's all. I think you can do a free and a swift and a standard action to shoot. I don't remember what drawing your weapon is. I think drawing your weapon is a move action. So
Oh yeah, that's right. It is.
it's all capable in one turn. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, while they're focused on Cinder, can I, like...
Well, Cinder's not even there.
Oh, while they're focused on Gustav, sorry. Can I, like, walk away?
Yeah, you can.
And then,
he's tried to disassociate you from him, so you can start
Yeah.
shuffling away.
Yeah, like, once I shuffle away and they have full, like, attention on person with sword, I shoot.
Okay, so you start shuffling away. Gustav, they're telling you that they just killed Adelo.
So, it's true. You meant to do it.
That's right. She was
Damn
a
it.
plague.
What? Why?
Why? Have you been in there? Have you seen what she's doing? It's evil work. We're here to cleanse evil.
What I saw her doing was nowhere near evil. But killing someone? Seems pretty evil to me.
We do what we have to.
How's my struggle going against this arm?
It's not going well. It's really hurting you now. Like, are you still holding on to it with your left arm?
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's almost overpowering you. And the more upset you get at the fact of these people shit-talking Adela and killing them, the harder it becomes to control your arm. And at some point, I think you just kind of break down, and you feel like it's almost like a wall's been opened with inside of you, Gustav, and you can feel in your right arm like the pain doesn't go away, but it changes. And it almost like shoots up and down your right arm as you just let out this massive scream, almost in like agony, with this sword in your hand. And you've entered your first blood rage, my friend.
Can I arrow thing?
And we will roll for initiative next week here.
No!
No!
Wait, no, you can't do this to us.
But my sneaky arrow attack.
We're not even here. We haven't even arrived.
Like, got the alcohol sweats going. Like 3 blocks
Right, we're
away.
back there just like panting.
You guys are just out of breath, huffing and puffing down the street.
Teak probably running on all fours.